Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with today's companion plants, and the really bold and striking herbaceous perennial next to me is Lobelia Queen Victoria. Available here in the UK through Golden Valley Plants, this is a really useful herbaceous perennial for taking up the slack in the rose garden when many roses are between their first and second flushes. Really finding its stride in the late summer garden, starting flowering normally in mid to late July, August, and through into the back end of September. It throws up these huge spires of bright pillar box red flowers, which are absolutely adored by pollinators. This particular plant likes a position in the garden in dappled shade, if you can, where it has its feet wet, enjoying slightly damp or boggy conditions. So maybe you want to plant this one along the banks of a river. Maybe you want to plant this one in a dip in the garden, which holds a little bit of water, or close to a pond where you can mix it with other cottage garden plants and other roses. But if you plant this one in full sun on a dry soil, unfortunately, it's going to become quite stunted and it's likely to go very, very limp. Unfortunately, Lobelia Queen Victoria is also absolutely adored by the slugs and the snails, who will strip off the bark and eat the leaves at a moment's notice overnight. So if you do choose to grow this one in a garden, do make sure that you do one of three things. You can either surround it with horticultural grit, give it a wide ring donut shape of horticultural grit or sharp sand or crushed eggshell. Or if you wanted to, you can water on my garlic water solution, which if you need the recipe for, don't hesitate to drop me a comment below and I'll sort you out with a link so you can make that yourself. Water that onto this particular plant and other slug tender plants early on in the season, as soon as they start to emerge, and it makes them taste of garlic, and the slugs and snails will give them a wide berth. But Lobelia Queen Victoria sends up these really, really beautiful tall spires of burgundy, almost beetroot red flowers. They could almost be described as almost black, making it a really strong and stark contrast to other really hot colours in the garden. So I try growing this one with rose Leah tutu, available from Peter Beals, or something more coppery or brassy like the Lady of Shallot from David Austin Roses, for a really strong and powerful colour combination. In July, August, and into the beginning of September, Lobelia Queen Victoria will send up huge, great big spires of pillar box red flowers, which are absolutely adored by pollinators. Whether it's a flying hoverfly, a wasp, or a bee, or maybe a butterfly, they absolutely adore these. Or maybe you're lucky enough to grow somewhere where you have pollinating hummingbirds. Again, they will absolutely adore Lobelia Queen Victoria for late pollen and forage in the garden. A really, really useful herbaceous perennial if you can give it a little bit of protection from the slugs and snails and mix it with other strong and hot colours. It mixes well with things like red hot pokers and Rebecca for that striking contrast of orange and red. Or say maybe you want to plant it with something more coppery or brassy like the Lady of Shallot, or a stronger yellow like Leah tutu. But today's companion plant available from Golden Valley Plants is Lobelia Queen Victoria.